Well, no one can argue that the last 36 hours has been very interesting as far as news goes. Both the mainstream media and alternative media, just about everybody right now, is talking about the fact that the United States went into Venezuela and arrested or kidnapped Maduro, the Venezuelan president. And there's been back and forth about this, lots of debate, lots of discussion about this, whether or not it was legal or not, whether or not the United States had the authority to do this on their own or not. And there's been a lot of people on YouTube that are talking about, rah, we stopped the drugs from Venezuela. We saved hundreds of thousands of lives by stopping the drugs now from Venezuela. Or, we're going to get the voting machines now and use those as evidence against these Democrats to put those Democrats in jail. That's two of the big things that I've seen people talking about and claiming that that's what this is. Another thing that some people's talking about is that it was all done to free the Venezuelan people. That the Venezuelan people are now free. Glory be, they're now free. Everything is wonderful now in Venezuela. So that's what they're telling us. It was about the drugs. It's what the Trump administration is telling us. And I'm hearing, like I said, that it's voting machines. It's all 5D chess by the Trump administration to get those, use those as evidence to arrest those Democrats, finally. And about freeing Venezuelan people from the stranglehold of dictator Maduro. I think of his name for a second. Brain fart. And in reality, it had nothing to do with any of that at all. It wasn't about drugs. Anybody with a brain should know that. It wasn't about drugs. It wasn't about freeing the Venezuelan people. And it's definitely not about voting machines and arresting those Democrats finally. It wasn't about any of that. It is about taking the resources. That's what it's about. The United States is in serious financial, economic trouble. The government, $38 trillion in debt, and they keep just piling on that debt. We are in trouble. Debt around the world has exploded with these governments, and they're in trouble. And right now, we're seeing resource wars. That's what's going on. It's going to get worse. This whole thing about Venezuela, we've been down there building up, using the drugs as an excuse to build up those Navy assets and stuff off the shore of Venezuela. And we've been striking those boats. Every little boat they see was a drug boat, got struck. One got struck twice, actually. They struck it, and 2 people were still yet alive, so they struck it again. Clearly not legal, but we do it anyway because we're the United States of America. We don't care about legality. We don't care about the Constitution, the rule of law. We don't care about rules-based order. We don't care about any of that here in the United States. That should be obvious for now. We make the rules. We do what we want to do. Until it comes back to us, then we won't like it. That's the way that it works. As long as we're doing it and we think that it's great, then we like it. But it comes back to us, either from a foreign government or from our own government, it's put back on us. Like, using the term narco-terrorist, what these boats were, with no proof at all. Plus, narco-terrorist is a made-up word. A terrorist is someone who wants to inflict violence to cause political change. That's the definition of a terrorist. Legal definition. It's not someone who we say is shipping drugs into the United States on a boat. They'd have to refuel, I think, like 15 times to get to the United States. But anyway, it wasn't about drugs. Anyone with the brain knows that. It wasn't about stopping drugs. Most of the drugs come through Mexico and from Colombia, actually, where most of the drugs come from into the United States. It wasn't about that. It was about resources, resource wars. Stealing the resources, stealing the oil. And a lot of people will say, rah, that's great. And it might bring the oil prices down. Definitely a possibility. So we might see some benefit from it as far as that goes. Possibility. However, it will be nearly what you think that it's going to be. They're going to go in, they're going to get the oil. That's the plan anyway. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. They want to go in and get the oil using these oil companies that are all owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, these investment firms. Now, if you track back these investment firms who actually owns the majority of these, and see who they are, you'll be like, wow, this is who actually controls the country. So we use our military to go into these places and do things and protect things, just like in Afghanistan, where in Afghanistan, the drug trade was actually, the United States goes into Afghanistan and the drug trade goes from Afghanistan. So tell me, the United States leaves Afghanistan and then the drug trade goes down again. So you tell me who's behind the drug trade. So it's definitely not about drugs, but it's about resources. It's about wealth for these people and these corporations, these firms and their investors. That's who runs the country. That's who runs Donald Trump. That's who runs pretty much everything. And a lot of this can be tracked back to a little country in the Middle East, to a certain family that founded that country pretty much, or made that possible back in '48. You track it all back and you see who actually runs everything. And that's who we fight for. That's who we do these invasions for. It's not about freedom, democracy. It's not about spreading democracy around the world. It's not about protecting our freedom here at home or fighting these people over there to keep them from coming over here. It's not about any of that. That's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. If you look at who has taken our freedom away, it's their own government. If you want to protect freedom and democracy, the Constitution, why would you go to Venezuela? Why would you go to anywhere else besides right here? Besides right here with their own corrupt government. I mean, if you look at the freedoms, the laws, our rights being trampled, crushed over the years, it's not been some foreign nation, it's been their own government. So if we're fighting for freedom and democracy for the United States, we're fighting their own people apparently. I mean, really, the military's fighting their own people. Somewhere else across the seas, somewhere in South America, somewhere else. And not focusing it where it needs to be right here in the United States. Our corruption here in the United States. Who's going to arrest all these corrupt officials here in the United States? Oh, we'll get those voting machines and we'll see there's proof they'll get those Democrats and we'll go arrest those Democrats. It's all employed by Trump playing 5D chess to get these Democrats. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. Complete nonsense. It's about resources. It's about stealing the oil, the minerals. It's about stealing everything they can from Venezuela. But this is the big question now. A lot of people are already cheering the victory. The victory's already here. We did it. We freed the Venezuelan people. Everything is great. Drugs are gone. Everything is great now. Couldn't be farther from the truth. We went in, or we didn't. Delta Force did, and the DEA, I think that it was, and some military personnel, went in and got the Venezuelan president arrested, captured, kidnapped, whatever, put him on a helicopter, put him on a ship, brought him back to the United States. And he's supposed to be, I think, in New York City now to stand trial, him and his wife is. That's what we done. The same government is still in power. The same regime, the same administration, the same government, the same whatever is still in power. Nothing's changed. So why would the people of Venezuela be cheering when nothing's changed? His government's still in power. How's the Venezuelan people now free? They're still in power. He's not there, but just like here, they have vice president, they have government, they have their military. Their military leaders are still in place. Their military is still in place. Nothing has changed. So, you know, I've seen Donald Trump saying we're going to take the oil. They've already resorted to piracy and taking oil tankers and the oil from that and taking the tankers, the oil, piracy. What if another country did that to us? Would that be okay? See, we're setting that precedent to be able to do that from other countries, do it to us, do it to each other. Just like now, you know, how can we say anything about Russia invading Ukraine? How can we say anything about China taking Taiwan? Or North Korea trying to take South Korea? Japan trying to take something, or someone trying to take Japan, or whatever. How can we say anything about it? We do it. We've done it. You know, we kidnap leaders and things that's from other countries, so why can't other countries do it? See, we're setting that example. We're setting that precedent where nobody cares about international law, rules-based order. Nobody follows it. It's dog eat dog. It's one man for himself. But nothing's changed in Venezuela at all. Still the same government. Everything's there. Same military leaders, more than likely, most of them still alive. So what's changed? Really nothing. And is the current government in Venezuela going to completely give over their sovereignty to the United States and let these oil companies come in, military come in and control their country, control their people, and give their sovereignty up completely without a fight of any kind at all? Possibly. They may, I don't know. But they may not. But nothing's really changed. It all hangs on that right there. It's what the current administration is going to do. And if they say, come get some, then we'll go get some. And even if we take it pretty easily, we still got to run it, still got to occupy it, and there's millions of people there. So guerrilla warfare, things like that could happen. It's not over. It's far from being over. One raid, one individual back to New York City isn't a done deal. But we've definitely shown the world that, or our government, the current administration, that they don't care about international law, rules-based orders, or anything like that. Constitution, going through Congress, anything like that. They don't care about it at all. They've shown everyone that. So now, the world sees that, and they've seen us go back on all the treaties. We'll sign a treaty, we'll go back on it, we'll lie, whatever the United States government will, and it's not just the Trump administration, it's all of them. We broke so many treaties, like with Russia, for example. Sign it, a few years, it goes well as long as for our benefit, but then when we don't like it anymore, we say, break it. I mean, we've proven that we're not trustworthy at all around the world, these other countries. And some people will say, that's good, we don't care about the other countries, fuck them, we don't need them no wise, what they'll say. But the thing about it is, we do, because everything is tied in together. And all these other countries around the world, and especially, South America, like Mexico, Brazil, all these other countries in South America, are going, and countries around the world. This example we set is going to cause these other countries to go even more toward China, to go even more toward the East, to go even more toward BRICS, to sign agreements, to sign protection agreements, to sign military agreements, trade agreements with BRICS and China and Russia. We're pushing all the other countries that was our allies besides, like France or Britain or something like that. We're pushing these other countries around the world to BRICS, to China, to Russia, to the East, and away from us. And what happens if they decide to sanction us? We import about everything from China and other countries. So what if they decide to just trade with each other and screw us, not use the United States dollar, not do any trade with us whatsoever, cut us off, sanction us like we've sanctioned everyone else throughout the years? That's what's going to happen, because they see that the United States doesn't respect the rule of law, rules-based order, doesn't respect social norms, international norms. We do what we want to do when we want to do it. We're the United States, rah, rah, rah. They see this and they're thinking, man, we're in danger too. Our country's in danger, our sovereignty's in danger, our people is in danger. So the only choice we got, instead of getting closer to the United States because they can't be trusted, they break every treaty that they've ever signed. They lie, they steal, they invade, they kidnap leaders, they assassinate, they do whatever they want to do, so they can't be trusted. So we're going to have to lean toward the East, BRICS, China, Russia. So their power is going to grow, their influence is going to grow, while ours shrinks, which is not going to be good for us. It's like it's a plan in a way to make BRICS, China, the leader of the world, the dominant superpower in the world. That's what it seems like. Either it's that, or we see some dumbass people making decisions right now, and they could do things a lot differently. I mean, they could have made deals with the oil to get it at certain prices and resources and use U.S. companies in Venezuela. They could have done that. But instead, they did what they did. And nothing's changed. Venezuelan government's still in power, same people. So now the big question is, like I said, are they going to roll over and give up their sovereignty and say, come in, all the oil companies, BlackRock, Vanguard, international bankers, come in and take all our resources and and oppress our people here in Venezuela? Are they going to do that? They're going to just say, well, come on, U.S., it's all yours. Or are they going to fight back, try to fight back? Are they going to resort to guerrilla warfare in the mountains of Venezuela? Venezuela's a big country. And we saw Vietnam, how that went. And Venezuela's a lot bigger than Vietnam. So just because we had one successful mission doesn't mean everything else is going to be peaches and cream and a yellow brick road right to the oil field. Who knows how it's going to turn out? It's not over yet. This is just the beginning. And like I said, it's definitely made us look bad, even worse. We look bad already, but even worse now around the world, we're going to push all these other nations that was, South America, for example, big time toward BRICS, toward China. Giving China more influence, more power, more trade deals. United States, less and less and less. That's what's happening. Not good. Not good at all. Anyway, what you think in the comments below? If you agree, disagree, whatever, give it a thumbs up if you agree. If you disagree, give it a thumbs up also, because I made the effort to make the video and tell you what I think. Comment below if you haven't checked out my books and you like the channel and want to help out. Go to Amazon and search for MD Creekmore, and my books will all pop up. And buy a book. Buy a book or two. Buy 5. I've got 5 out. So buy all of them, help the channel out. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.